a matchup between the two Jasons, Jason McDonald and Jason Lambert, who squared off this time in the middleweight division. McDonald in the white trunks, Lambert in the black trunks. Sorry, Joe, see if McDonald uses that reach early.
Yeah, what I was going to say, it'd be interesting to see what kind of strategy McDonald employs. Whoa, look at that. He immediately shoots for a couple punches and tries to take Jason to the ground.
And he does.
He's on top, but you got to be careful. He's got a very good guillotine, and he's right in front. Lambert has a nice guillotine, and he's got an arm under the chin. It's pretty deep, Mike. There's an arm in, but he can finish it with an arm in if he can get to full guard. Sometimes it's tough to do from half guard, and he's scrambling to try to make it to full guard. From full guard, you can finish a guy with an arm in guillotine. But he's keeping it. Notice how he's keeping it deep under the chin?
Absolutely.
Jason has a very good squeeze.
And Jason McDonald was the man who went for the takedown and got right into the guillotine attempt of Jason Lambert.
And I was surprised that he immediately wanted to initiate a ground game. I thought his advantage would be in his distance, in his reach, and that was the advantage that he didn't utilize with Damian Maia, and I thought we'd see him utilize it here with Jason.
Well, we know McDonald has worked through some really dangerous-looking submission attempts before in his career. Looked like Joe Dirksen was going to rip his shoulder off in the first round. Somehow, he stayed alive in that fight and escaped some really tough submission attempts by Damian Maia before he finally ended up getting defeated in Minnesota.
Jason let go of Lambert, I should say, let go of the other hand with the guillotine, but he still got the hand under the chin. And what he's looking to do is get himself, use his other arm and get himself into a better position, get himself into full guard. But he's keeping that head. Notice how he's, oh, there he goes, pops it out.
McDonald pops out.
And notice the audience starts cheering. That's an educated audience right there. They saw it and they knew what happened. Now this is good for Jason McDonald. And Jason McDonald is going to want to try to pass this guard. Oh, he messed up. He wound up in the full guard.
Let's go, Jay.
McDonald trying to work the body of Jason Lambert.
And Jason Lambert has been successful as a grappler against much larger guys. I'm really interested to see what his grappling looks like against a guy who's actually his weight.
Previously a member of the San Bernardino Sheriff's Department, Jason Lambert, 23 wins in his mixed martial arts career. McDonald, 21 wins, former correctional officer up in the province of Alberta. Two quality competitors and great human beings.
Yeah, both of them are really cool guys.
Closed guard being utilized by Lambert.
Yeah, he's got a good hold on Jason McDonald's neck. See that? Keeping him from posturing up and raining any significant blows. But Jason's doing McDonald is doing a good job of landing some strikes inside of that. And he was landing some good elbows to the body that made Lambert let go of the hand and let go of his neck.
You know, the irony of this matchup between Jason and Jason is that Jason McDonald replaced Jason Day.
It was ironic. Good elbows by Mr. McDonald.
There you go. Do that.
There you go.
Yeah. Mr. McDonald, Mr. Lambert.
Yeah, I can't. Jason is getting a little goofy.
McDonald on top, avoided the guillotine attempt of Lambert early.
All right, and you see he said watch the triangle. And the reason why is he was pushing down on Jason Lambert's left leg.
Yep.
And they want to make sure that when he opens the guard, Jason Lambert on the bottom is taking some punches to the face. See him wincing here. Now he's rolling towards a Kimura, but his arm's not in deep enough.
Now, like Jason Lambert, Jason McDonald spent a lot of time early in his career at 205 as well.
What Jason McDonald, or Lambert rather, seems to be trying to do to me is he seems to be trying to isolate one of these arms and throw a leg up for a triangle. Notice how he's got that overhook? He keeps trying to get that, but McDonald's very crafty.
I mean, he came in and submitted Ed Herman, Chris Lieben, earned back-to-back submission of the night honors. I mean, the jiu-jitsu game of Jason McDonald is very, very good.
Yeah, and Jason Lambert's running out of time here. I mean, he's been fishing for moves from the bottom, but McDonald is keeping him in this position, keeping him up against the cage, and always landing strikes. So this has been a fruitless search for submission for Jason Lambert, and it's been a good example of pressing a guy from inside his guard by Jason McDonald.
McDonald won his first 8 career professional fights, all by submission. None of those going past the second round. Ironically, his last 2 wins in the UFC have come by knockout. Technical knockout TKO wins over Dirksen.
Jason Lambert going for that guillotine again. He's got
11
full
seconds
guard,
now. 10 seconds, Joe.
He might.
8
This is
seconds
deep,
left
Mike.
in the round.
This is deep.
5 seconds left in the round.
He might go to sleep. Oh, look at this. This is insane.
He made it.
Wow. That was tight. Man, Jason McDonald's tough as nails. He wasn't even thinking about tapping. For a second there, I thought he was, but he was actually just throwing crazy, awkward angle punches. Man, let's look at that again because that was really, really deep. And this is what Jason McDonald was, or Lambert rather, was looking for all round, that full guard. See, Mike, once he's got the full guard, then he can really arch his back. See that? That's a deep, tight guillotine right there. And it was getting tighter and tighter. I wonder how long Jason McDonald will be able to hold on. That was close.
Well, a good round for McDonald, but he's got to be telling himself, man, I can't get caught in that. I got caught in it twice.
Yeah, and Jason Lambert was looking for it the whole round, too. He keeps turning towards him like he's going to get a Kimura and then trying to get a guillotine and alternating between those two techniques. And then in between, he was trying to use the overhook to try to get a triangle. But you know what? It's going to be way better for him to be on top.
Yep.
He's not at the most advantageous position with Jason McDonald on top.
Jason Lambert has not gone to a decision in 6 UFC fights. They touch. And remember, big power in the hands of Jason Lambert.
Jason McDonald's no slouch on his feet either. And he gets the takedown.
And Lambert's not easy to take down. This time he avoids putting his head right into a guillotine attempt. Half guard.
Yeah, he's going to be very, very careful with it this time. I guarantee you after that last round. Jason Lambert using the lockdown. He's using that, the positioning of his feet that controls Jason McDonald's leg. And see how he keeps moving into that position? What he's trying to do is keep that instep underneath attached to Jason McDonald's chin. And as long as he can keep it like that, he can control that leg and keep it straightened out. Oh, McDonald passes. Very nice.
McDonald with the full mount. Trying to tee off on Lambert.
Lambert turns to his back. He gave up his back.
Jason McDonald looking for the finish.
Very bad position for Jason Lambert. He's got the body triangle in. Lambert's taking some deep breaths.
Body triangle's the key there, Joe. He's got him locked up.
Because of that body triangle, Mike, he cannot turn towards the choke. The proper defense is to turn his body towards the choke.
He might have it here, Joe.
Oh,
it's all over!
Wow!
Jason McDonald, rear naked choke.
Very, very nice.
What a sense of relief
performance
for Jason McDonald. On cue.
Very nice, Mike. As soon as he got that mount position, he moved from the mount. It was a solid mount. Lambert tried to buck him off, and he was he made a bad mistake there. And he unfortunately went to his back. McDonald took advantage of that. Let's take a look at that again.
Our Bud Light replay brought to you by Bud Light, ultimate refreshment, superior drinkability.
Here's the key. Lambert, he gets a little hasty. And he's just trying to scramble out of that position, and he avoids, or he makes a mistake of turning towards his stomach, and then Jason McDonald leaves no room. Immediately gets his back and gets that, what we call the anaconda, the body triangle. And here's the end. And it's just Jason Lambert just made a poor defensive position decision. He decided to give up the proper defense so that he could try to scramble out of the mount position, and in doing so, he gave up his back. And to a talented guy like Jason McDonald, that's a bad idea.
Nearly choked out at the end of round 1, and he wins by rear naked choke in round 2. Here's Bruce Buffer with the official decision.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee Yves Leving has called a stop to this contest at 1 minute, 20 seconds of round number 2, declaring the winner by tap out due to a rear naked choke, Jason the Athlete McDonald.
He was happy to fight as soon as possible, and now he's happy to talk to Joe as the victor.
All right, I'm here with the athlete, Jason McDonald. First of all, Jason, congratulations. Awesome fight, very exciting. At the end of the first round, you were caught in a very deep guillotine. How tight was that?
Well, it was pretty tight, but my head was facing at the screen. I could see there was 6 left, so I can hold my breath for 6 seconds.
Well, you held on indeed, and eventually in the second round, you got that mount position, and from there, it was all she wrote.
Yeah, I was patient. I knew he was getting tired. I knew that drop to 185 was going to tire him out, and So I knew if I could take it in the later rounds that I'd be able to put it on him, and that's what I did.
Well, beautiful fight and beautiful last fight as well, even though you lost. I thought it was awesome. Congratulations tonight on getting that victory. Jason McDonald, ladies and gentlemen.
The athlete is relieved because he has returned to the winner's circle. Jason the Athlete McDonald, the winner here tonight in Atlanta, Georgia. A great night indeed for Jason McDonald. A huge night for Rashad Evans. But first things first, we award our submission of the night. Brought to you by our good friends at Tap Out. And you know what? We just saw it a moment ago. None other than Jason McDonald.
Yeah, Jason McDonald just showing some outstanding jiu-jitsu, both in defense and in offense. Getting out of that beautiful guillotine and, of course, finishing Jason Lambert with that rear naked choke. Fantastic jiu-jitsu fighter.
Submission of the night brought to you by Tap Out, an expression of combat known worldwide. You talk about an expression made tonight. How about the statement made by Rashad Evans?
Wow, yeah, you know what? I mean, everybody was looking for Chuck Liddell to land a one-punch knockout, and Rashad Evans connected on him. I mean, that's the game you play when you throw bones at each other. I mean, it's just unbelievable performance by Rashad Evans. He stayed in the pocket, stayed in there in the danger, all the fists flying, and connected just one fraction of a second faster than Chuck did, and that was all he needed.
Rashad Evans remains unbeaten. He knocks out Chuck Liddell, and I'll tell you what, when he did it with authority. Watch the overhand right again, Joe.
I mean, Rashad Evans has two of the greatest knockouts in UFC history on the highlight.
Yep.
The Sean Shirk high kick knockout, and then this one, even more impressive, one-punch KO of Chuck Liddell.
Something about knocking out Sean Salmon, something different about knocking out Chuck Liddell. You see the disappointment. Chuck told us all week he felt great. He was re-energized. Hey, every great fighter gets caught. Chuck will be the first one to admit that. That being said, this is not the last time we'll see Chuck Liddell.
I'm certain it's not the last time we're going to see him, but, you know, that's a devastating loss,
Yeah.
and that's going to affect him.
No question about it. When you look at a devastating loss, well, not so much for Matt Hamill, but still he is devastated by the fact that Rich Franklin at 205 looked as good as he has in a long time.
Yeah, Rich Franklin looked fantastic. He had a great game plan. Matt Hume and him put together a great strategy to avoid the takedown, land leg kicks, and then in defending himself very well from the bottom as well. He looked great at 205. He had a ton of energy, and I think him training with Matt Hume, he's constantly improving, and I think even at 205, this might be a better weight class for him.
How do we see fights end in the UFC? By submission, sometimes by a big right hand. How about a kick right to the midsection, the way Franklin ended it?
Yeah, body kick to the liver, a la Bas Rutten. And Rich Franklin jumps all over Matt Hamill. Matt Hamill, you know, no slouch, no shame in losing to Rich Franklin. Rich Franklin, former champion, a great fighter. This was a big step up in competition for Matt Hamill, and I'm sure he's going to learn from this loss.
Everyone thought it was a big step up for Rashad Evans, but he makes the step, and he definitely moves way closer to a potential matchup with the winner of The Ultimate Fighter 1, Forrest Griffin.
Yeah, he moves up way closer, and he sends a big statement to everybody that faces him. Rashad Evans is very fast, and he's got big power. And, you know, he used to be just a wrestler. When we saw him on The Ultimate Fighter, his striking was fairly limited. Yep. Not anymore. He's dangerous everywhere now.
Another powerful night, Joe Rogan.
Woo, powerful indeed, my
Powerful
friend.
indeed. I love it. All right, Joe Rogan, we'll see you in Omaha, Nebraska in just a little bit because we're about done in Atlanta, but so much forthcoming right inside the Octagon. Take a look. Here's what's coming up inside the Octagon, brought to you by Tap Out, an expression of combat known worldwide. On Wednesday, September 17th, the UFC heads to Omaha, Nebraska for UFC Fight Night Live on Spike. Immediately following UFC Fight Night Live, it's the premiere of The Ultimate Fighter, Team Nogueira versus Team Mir. On Saturday, October 18th, it's UFC 89, Bisping versus Liebman from the National Indoor Arena in Birmingham, England. Log on to 89.ufc.com for more information. Tickets are on sale now at the NIA box office and theticketfactory.com. Saturday, October 25th, it's UFC Harley-Davidson. Tickets are on sale now at the Allstate Arena box office and Ticketmaster.com. On Saturday, November 15th, the UFC returns to Las Vegas and the MGM Grand Garden Arena as Gears of War 2 presents UFC 91, Couture versus Lesnar. And that's what's coming up inside the Octagon, brought to you by Tap Out. Tune into Tap Out for Season 2 on now and crazier than ever. Don't forget as well, you can watch all the unaired preliminary matchups, also the post-fight interviews at UFC.com, your website of choice for everything going on in the Ultimate Fighting Championship. The executive producers of the UFC, Frank Fertitta III, Lorenzo Fertitta, and UFC President Dana White. Our supervising producer is Craig Borsari. Our show produced tonight once again by Bruce Connell, directed by Anthony Pasquale Giordano. Tim O'Toole, our director of production. Alan Connell, our technical producer. And the man who puts it all together, the VP of Talent Relations, Joe Silva. Dangerous Dan Henderson was indeed that again. Will he start to make some noise in the UFC's middleweight division? We know one thing, the man will always be a champion. Henderson gets a win. And so does Rich Ace Franklin. In the battle of the boys from the Queen City, Franklin able to pick Hamill apart, even with a huge gash under his eye, and earn a win in his return to 205. And then it was time for our main event of the evening, Unbeaten Evans against the legend Chuck Liddell. And this will be the right hand heard all around the world. Evans knocks out the Iceman and remains unbeaten. For all of us at Zuffa, the Ultimate Fighting Championship, my partner Joe Rogan, Mike Goldberg saying so long until next time. We see you right back here inside the Octagon.